Hey, we want to welcome all of you out tonight. We'll be sharing this on the Perfect Solutions for Cellular Pollutions page, and we want to welcome all of you who are here tonight and recognize that Kedzie and Bilby and Steve and Carol and Joe and Linda and Kayleen and Janie are here. And last week we went over, welcome to the call.
Really quick, Karen, can we ask everyone to mute themselves in the bottom left-hand corner, please?
Yep. Okay. So, let's see. Got to move this now. Last week we went over some of the problems that I had found with wireless pollution. And so we're going to skip through this portion of the webinar and just remind you that we did discuss a lot about the EMFs and that your home is flooded with EMFs. And what is an EMF? It is an electromagnetic frequency that you cannot taste, smell, feel, touch, see, or oftentimes sense through your physical senses. An EMF is frequency, which is matter, indiscernible by most people, but for some, EMFs manifest themselves in a multiplicity of ways, leaving both signs and symptoms. And exposing EMFs, all electrical and wireless devices generate electromagnetic fields called EMFs. EMFs never extinguish. They travel indefinitely through space, and they disturb other electromagnetic charges, including the electromagnetic processes that underlie all of the body's functions. In 2013, Dr. M.L. Paul published an article demonstrating that EMFs have a non-thermal chemical impact upon our cellular biology. And I found that this was really interesting to find out what EMFs are doing to our cells, and especially in our brain. They impair proper biological functioning by knocking out calcium ions, which create calmness and balance. They knock out potassium ions, which regulate brain function. They knock out lithium ions, which regulate mental stability. So if you're finding that you're having feelings of depression or sadness, anything that is feeling like an emotional imbalance, it could be because of EMF sensitivity. All of this leads to chronic oxidative stress. It also causes DNA breakage. We're going to talk just for a minute in review about the pineal gland. The pineal gland influences many brain-controlled functions like wake and sleep cycles and perception and memory, a sense of well-being, impulse control, aggression and sense of reality, emotional dysregulation, and psychopathology. The pineal gland is a magnetic sensitive organ, sensitive to EMF fields. EMF exposure suppresses pineal gland activity. Pineal gland is the main source of serotonin, serotonin 5-HT. Serotonin is really our happy chemical. It also EMF affects executive brain functions. And I was particularly interested with what it was doing to my brain because of the horrible migraines that I was having. It affects your ability to make predictions about the future, the ability to reason with logic, reflect on one's work, flexibility in thinking, seeing things from another's point of view, multitasking, waiting patiently, seeking assistance when needed. And then we talked a little bit last week about children's brains absorbing EMFs, and that this is a 5-year-old brain, a 10-year-old brain, and an adult brain, and the difference between all three ages in the absorption of EMF energy. More about EMF in children. Hello, Marcia. Welcome, welcome. More about EMF in children. is that childhood and adolescent mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders are caused by EMFs, and that children are especially vulnerable to EMF sensitivity because their skulls are less dense and contain more brain fluid than those of adults. A 1-year-old absorbs 2 times as much radiation per kilo as an adult. The following image, which is a screen after this one, shows electromagnetic radiation absorption rates in the brains. Actually, it was the one prior, of a 5 and 10-year-old adult. Okay, so EMFs affect executive functions of a child's brain. Executive functions develop during childhood through adolescence, which includes resisting distraction, focusing attention, goal orientation, organizing and directing activities, engaging in abstract thinking. Fetuses are people too and can be affected by electromagnetic radiation. And this shows the uterus of a pregnant mother and the effect on EMF pollution. And so we're instructed, and we're hoping to instruct more mothers to not rest their cell phones on their tummies during pregnancy. Is your home being monitored by smart meters? This was an excellent video that Carol Gutierrez sent to me, so I have included the little link so that you can go and watch it. The Arizona News just announced just the other day, on September 26th, my husband was sitting in the living room with me and he said, "Oh my gosh, the news just popped up on my cell phone, and the top news story in Arizona says that the APS smart meter brings controversial fees to customers, that if you opt out of having a smart meter, it will cost you $50 and then $5 per month." Imagine how much money they'll make on those who will choose to opt out, and how many of those who are oblivious, completely oblivious to the EMF pollution that is radiating out of the smart meters. The smart attack: over 65 million smart meters in North America outside of homes and apartments, causing a growing health epidemic, monitoring every shower you take, every meal you bake, every light you switch on, every single thing you do will be 100% monitored by your smart meter, which exudes even more EMFs and causes government regulation to create more control over the population. We have a solution for that, which blocks 98 to 99% of the radiation pollution. The other 1 to 2% is neutralized by this patented technology. And here is that link for that video. And so if you want to write that down really quickly, it's https://www.youtube.com/ and then watch $v $, N 29 A t A, number 3 B, small o, small d, and capital U. And this is an excellent smart meter video. Well, then we have cell towers, and we have an excellent cell tower video that I hope that you'll all take the time to watch. So if you've got your camera, maybe it would be faster for you just to take a picture of that link. And it was quite an amazing and enlightening video that my husband and I were able to watch as we drove home from Arizona last week. So please take a picture of that. Okay, I just suddenly, here we go. Welcome, Stuart, to the call. And we have Who Moved My Joy? And now we're getting into new material. And let me just go and here we go. Who Moved My Joy? And when I was suffering for years and years from EMF sensitivity and didn't know it, all I knew was that my thyroid and my estrogen and my testosterone and my progesterone levels were in the negatives, there was nothing even to speak of. I'm really excited to be able to go to my doctor and have blood testing and see what's happening now. Okay. There's a picture of my migraine. Okay, here we go. Your brain is sensitive. We didn't come with an owner's manual. And so what you're going to hear, maybe some of you who are on this call already know this, but whether you know it or not, your brain is sensitive to EMF radiation pollution. EMFs cause hardening to the cells in your brain and in the rest of your body as well. But the segue into tonight's call is that EMFs and dehydration both cause the cells in your brain, which is 90% water, to become hardened and brittle. And last night, my husband and I drove down to Manti, and we also found that another thing causes that hardening to your cells, and that's animal fats. And so between dehydration, animal fats, and EMFs, our brains are working hard to keep up. Okay, the 21st century problems with EMF and water pollution are wreaking havoc on our brains. What's up with my noodle? Lederman calls it dry brain. The moment your noodle feels even mildly parched, a bunch of its most important functions tend to go haywire, from the way you feel to the power your brain has to process info and memories. Dehydration does immediate damage to your mental abilities. It even shrinks your brain, research shows. An underwater brain is an unhappy brain, which can cause feelings of anxiety, moodiness, memory loss, can't figure things out, don't know where to start when you have to do a simple task like clean out a closet, and all of a sudden you just feel overwhelmed, don't even know how to begin processing an activity. The human brain requires constant hydration to function properly. Brain cells require a delicate balance between water and element to operate. When your brain is dehydrated, that delicate balance is disrupted. There are signs that you are dehydrated, and one of the first signs is, sorry, gotta go back a screen. One of the first signs is that thirst is one of the first signs that you already are dehydrated. It takes effort to drink water consistently through the day, but it's something that we actually have to develop a habit for. You may feel fatigued, sluggish, and tired when you exert energy. And I didn't realize that I was actually suffering from both dehydration and EMF sensitivity. So I loved incorporating this material together. Not drinking enough water can cause muscle cramps in the rest of your body, and dehydration can also cause changes in your pulse. Does your brain shrink due to dehydration? And is there proof of that? Defined as a 3 to 4% drop in body weight due to a lack of water. Lieberman says that more severe levels of dehydration will intensify the brain problems his research uncovered. There's even evidence that your brain will shrink when you're dehydrated. And this is a study done by the Harvard Medical School. Severe migraines. Oh, don't you like the way I spelled that? Severe migraines caused by EMFs and dehydration. Again, EMFs harden the cells, and dehydration hardens the cells. The problem with all that is that brains don't function well when cells are hardened, and the resulting problem will be that you will feel pain. Severe migraines caused by EMFs and dehydration. More by Lieberman. 4 to 8 hours without water can cause mild dehydration. 1.5% may sound like a loss of water weight in your brain, but you would quickly lose that much water just by going about your day without drinking water. Dehydrated women experience significant drop-off in energy and mood. They explain that they feel tired and lousy, and that headaches occur, and there's difficulty in concentration. And this was all the things that I was suffering from before I met Carol Gutierrez. Brain is extremely sensitive to changes in fluids like sodium and potassium. And remember from a previous slide that EMFs knock out potassium. It requires energy to accomplish those tasks. But then if you are dehydrated, remember that it's going to be a process to get rehydrated, and you need to rehydrate with care. Like plants without leaves, like plant leaves without water, your brain contracts when deprived of fluid, and simple tasks seem even more strenuous. Rehydrating those cells after they have shrunk can lead to cerebral edema or swelling of the brain as thirsty cells suck up too much liquid. Studies show that overhydration can lead to cell damage or ruptures, not common for most people, but it still can occur. And so guzzling after a long period of no water is not wise either. It's doing everything in temperance and in moderation. Conquering the moody blues. Just know that if you are feeling moody or anxious or sad or unable to get on top of your emotions, that your mood is definitely altered under the influence of EMF sensitivity and dehydration, that energy deficits are created, that your dehydrated brain has to use a lot more energy to accomplish the same task. And since I've been preparing this webinar, I will say that it's been a lot easier to drink water, because now I know that that with every sip I take, I am actually affirming, I am resurrecting my body from the inside out. And as I drink my water, I am thinking, I am resurrecting my body from the inside out, and I am bringing my brain online into full function. The changes you experience are some sort of alarm system there to let you know that you need water. Because we are 75 to 77 to 80% water, that is the most important subject that I think, after researching this, that I can possibly make a study, knowing that that body is needed. And next week, our actual PowerPoint presentation will be on clean water, pure water, versus so many different kinds of water that we have out there. Deficits in energy. Oh, sorry, same slide. So hydrate your brain. 1 billion people on the planet do not have access to clean drinking water. 38,000 children under the age of 5 die each week because they lack uncontaminated water. African women walk over 40 billion hours each year carrying cisterns weighing up to 18 kilograms to gather water, which is not even safe to drink. We are so blessed and so lucky in this country to have access to amazing water. So what's the matter with my brain cells? When the body is loaded with EMFs and unflushed toxins, I will feel lethargy and I will get headaches. Nor can good nutrition be absorbed by my cells when it arrives in overcrowded clusters. Water molecules will not deliver nutrients as efficiently into my cells. Elimination of toxins from my cells is imperative for health and vitality. Did you know your brain is a high-power magnetic receiver lined with several billion magnetic particles tuned in to the background of planetary frequencies, the beautiful Earth frequencies. These planetary frequencies form the natural, amazing biofield, electromagnetic field surrounding you and every other human being on this planet. Because your brain runs on electrical frequencies, it needs water to conduct thousands of functions in order to run every single one of your body systems. So we've got the problem, Techno and H20 pollution. Today, Earth's energy field is polluted with technologically produced frequencies, EMFs. So the brain receives electromagnetic junk mail produced by AC electricity and wireless technology, which is then transmitted into every cell of our body. Here is a normal brain that is fully hydrated, and this is a dehydrated brain. 2% dehydration creates a huge deficit. It affects attention, memory, cognitive skills, affects moods, and alters behavior. The symptoms of EMF, radiation pollution, and dehydration are very similar. What do dehydration and EMF sensitivity have in common? What will you experience if you are suffering from either or both? I can tell you from experience because I had all of these symptoms: headaches, migraines, brain fog, foggy thinking, attention problems, poor memory, anxiety, restless mind, learning disruptions, dizziness, and lethargy. And that brings tears to my eyes because if somebody had not shared this with me, I would still be feeling that way. So what type of water do you drink? A nutrient is only as good as your body's ability to assimilate, absorb, and utilize it. Water is your delivery system for good nutrition. What you drink is just as important, if not more important, than the amount you drink. Drinking more of a bad thing does not make you more hydrated. Drink the cleanest, purest water you can find. Because your brain is 90% water, it makes sense that you would search for the purest, cleanest water in the structure that your cells would prefer. And this is what I knew that I had to study. I had something that was cleaning my water. I had something that I knew was taking out the arsenic. I had something that I knew was taking out crypto and those ugly little, yucky little creatures that are in your water. I knew that I had found 7 years ago the cleanest water that I could find that is rated #1 in the consumer reports, but I did not know what I was soon to learn. A dehydrated brain is a dim brain, so choose well. All water is not created equal, and I wish that I could find the video that Blaine Winder made of us, he and I, when I was, as a massage therapist, I went to visit this massage therapist who studied water. And he said, Karyn, I want you to go fill the glass up with tap water. And this is what the water looked like. And he had this little probe that he stuck in this glass of water. And he goes, we're going to give it some time. And what this does is this charge that we put in the water strips the water of those things that are concealing the contaminants. And I watched as the water turned to this color, and this color, and then this color, and this color. And then he said, hey, Karyn, do you want a drink of my water? And I said, no, that is so gross. And it was all on a video. And he goes, well, I'll drink it. And he drank the glass of water that looked like this. He goes, why wouldn't I drink it? That's what I'm drinking every day when I'm drinking tap water. Show this to my husband. And I will tell you, I would not drink another glass of tap water in my life. I will not touch tap water after seeing that visual experience for me. We live in a dehydrated world, 5 billion people, 75% of the world's population dehydrated. Most people do not comprehend why or how they're dehydrated. The aging process is directly related to dehydration, and most people think if they drink more of anything, they'll get rehydrated. And I will share with you something that happened to my mother. My mother has taken excellent care of her body for as long as I can remember. She's the mother who juiced carrots and fed our family salad and a very vegan diet growing up. And I remember the day they took my mother, she was having symptoms, and they took her to the ER. And even though she was drinking 10 cups of Cali tea and Sunrider tea and Fortune Delight tea, she was taken to the hospital and pronounced dehydrated. When your body has to, when anything is in your water besides plain water, it goes directly to your stomach where it has to be digested. And only clean, pure water in its best micromanaged abilities goes directly to the brain. And you should see the result of this water within less than 10 minutes. What we need then is a super liquefied water molecule that can have easy access to our brain and in less than 10 minutes. So where on earth can we possibly find that? This is a dehydrated brain. Even just 2% can make you stupid. How do we avoid all this? If you feel thirsty, remember that you've already waited too long to drink. Your urine color should be a light straw color, and the darker the urine, the more dehydrated you are. So drink before you feel thirsty. Keep that water bottle on you and keep it going in like pit drips, Pitocin drips. When I was pregnant, I never gave birth. I always had to go to the hospital and be induced. And they would put this Pitocin drip and keep that Pitocin running into my body until my body could go into labor. And so when I think about drinking water all day long and just taking little sips all throughout the day, keeping that water going. Our cells are polite. Dr. Peter Auger, 2003, discovered that our cells are aquaporin. This means that they have millions of water channels. And aquaporin is the plumbing system of the cell. The body has to work hard to get these large water molecules to break down so that they can enter the cell. Your cells will only allow single file aligned molecules to travel through each tiny doorway, which is called an aquapore. What is an aquapore? Aquaporins are integral membrane proteins that serve as channels in the transfer of water, and in some cases, small solutes across the membrane. They are found in the cells of bacteria, plants, animals, and people. Structure analyses of the molecules have revealed the presence of a pore in the center of each aquaporin molecule. Aquaporin, therefore, are tiny water channels that deliver water into the cells and carry toxins out of the cells. So welcome to your body. There's a solution for that. As we age, the body has to work harder to get the water to break down the water molecules before they can enter into the cell. This patented technology developed by Dr. Smirnoff liquefies water 400 to 500 times and breaks it down so that it can get into your cell in a single file line. Dr. Smirnoff could not figure out why the water that was single file aligned was the optimal water until they discovered that cells are indeed aquaporin. GIA has the only patented technology that can break down the water into a single file strand of molecules that can enter the aquapores in the cell. The smaller the molecule of water, the more the body experiences a steady stream of energy. If the body has to expend energy to break down the molecules in the water you choose to drink, the body can experience low-grade energy. The single file activator system restructures your water so that you can experience greater energy reserves upon the first moments of consumption. This is why I felt impressed to listen to my friend, an RN, who will be speaking to you next. And Carol said, Karyn, you need to try this water. I already had a Kangen water machine. I'd already spent $4,000 on that. I already had a multi-pure filter that I knew was cleaning my water before it was going through my Kangen water, which only takes out chlorine. And I did not want to alkalize microcluster, dirty, filthy water running from my tap. So I had put the multi-pure filter on in front of the Kangen water machine, which is a highly hydrogen water. But then when I learned about the water that Carol was trying to teach me about, I will admit that I was in great resistance. I went ahead and purchased the Cell Guard for my cell phone because I believed that I could afford that and try that. And so I went ahead and put that cell guard that changed the frequency in my own biofield so that I could handle what was going on with my cell phone. But I didn't want to try the water. And about 2 weeks after my migraines had gone away absolutely overnight, I felt that maybe I should give this water a try. And so I did. And within 7 days of drinking it, the words came to my mind: your body is being resurrected from the inside out. And I called my chiropractor, doctor friend, Dr. Carpenter, and I said, can you explain to me what single file aligned water does? Because I have a very strong feeling that my body is being resurrected from the inside out. And he said, he paused and he said, where did you find that? Where did you find that water? He's written 3 books on water. And he said, I've already read and researched and studied the water coming from the Himalaya mountains and how this water would implode onto the rocks, and it would create glacier milk. And this glacier milk, this milky looking water, was actually the most powerful water for a human body. But I didn't know that there was anything on earth that could actually create it that I could get my hands on. So Dr. Carpenter went ahead and he studied it. He studied what I shared with him. He's not a person that's quick to jump, but he did. And last night I went to Manti, Utah, to my sister's inn, where he spoke all about water for an hour and shared the power of single file aligned water, and that if you can get your hands on it, you need to get it. There was about 30 people in that audience last night, and they asked me to stand up and share my testimonial and my experience with this water. And afterwards, people were coming up to me left and right and saying, I've got to have that water. I've got to have that water pitcher. And so we are sharing tonight the exterior solutions for EMF. Your cell phone needs at least 1 GS cell guard. Your laptop, to avoid that laptop pollution, your laptop needs 2 universal guards. Your router, which is the dirtiest electricity coming into your home, needs 2 universal guards. Your iPad, the pollution radiating from that, is 1 or 2 universal guards. Computerized digital car needs a home harmonizer. And as we were listening to this amazing call, this man who was speaking about the cell towers said that the energy, the EMF in your car is even worse, because as your cell phone has to jump the frequency from cell tower to cell tower, there is a leap in this EMF energy that is being plummeted into your car and into your cells. And so while you're driving, it's actually mesmerizing, it's hypnotizing, and it can cause you to get in accidents. So home energy, dirty electricity pollution, the home harmonizer that benefits 60 square feet around your home harmonizer plugged into your wall. And then for those of us who have smart meters, we either need to call the electric company and say, I'll pay that $50 and I'll pay that $50 to opt out, and I'll pay the $5 a month, or we need to get the smart meter with the mesh to take care of that horrible pollution that is infiltrating through our homes and into our neighbors, into our neighborhoods. So putting this PowerPoint together was really enlightening for me, because I feel, and let me just stop the share and go back, I feel that my life has changed dramatically. I've noticed a difference in my skin by using the water, this powerful water in my skin. I've noticed my husband's skin, and my husband even said to me last night, he goes, Karyn, 3 months ago, you were a completely different person. You were gray, your pallor was a different color, you had deeper lines around your eyes. I had dark circles that are going away. I had stronger lines that were right here. And when you think about your cells being AQUAPORE, and even your skin cells, and you use this water and you spritz daily, all day long, It is huge what's happening. So I just want to encourage you, for those of you who are new to this call and maybe who have not experienced learning about this kind of water, please feel free to contact the person who invited you to this call, and feel free to ask your questions. So if you were on my Facebook page and you found out about this is recorded, I will be posting it. Please feel free to contact me. If you were invited by somebody else, please feel free to contact them. We are excited to share with you how we are feeling differently and better and happier and more emotionally balanced. And I will tell you that what I'm feeling is heartier. I feel heartier. I feel more stable on the planet. If you knew me 3 years ago, you would have actually met me in the hospital with a quart low on blood, with pernicious anemia on my way off the planet. And I can't thank Carol Gutierrez enough for persisting with me, because I thought I had it all with my clean water filter, which is multi-pure. I thought I had it all with my Kangen water machine. And then I felt impressed intuitively that I should listen. And I did listen, and I did put my house payment on hold and decided that I would buy this pitcher. And I'm going to ask my husband to come over here really quick. We're going to turn the time over to Carol for her presentation, but I want my husband to share with you what he has seen since I've been on this water for 12 weeks.
Hi, my name's Del, and since Karyn has started on this water, there has been a dramatic difference. The energy level, her alertness, her waking up at 5:30 in the morning and said, let's go grocery shopping. Those are things that did not happen before. Sitting out in the backyard and her looking at the lawn and saying, do you want to play tag? And I just started laughing, because that was something. She would be so tired she'd go to sleep at 7 o'clock at night and wake up in the morning with a headache, and that has changed. I've noticed that my sleep pattern has been much deeper. I sleep deeper, I wake more refreshed. My feet have been numb for years, and as I have taken the water, I've noticed that the more I drink, the better it gets. But the numbness in my feet has begun to diminish, and the skin tone is different. I noticed the wrinkles are less. There's just been a dramatic difference. I didn't really, in the beginning, I didn't believe this. I didn't think it was going to do much of anything. But as I saw the results with Karyn, I couldn't resist trying it, and to seeing those results and watching other people that have had incredible things happen. Maybe for you they won't be incredible, maybe they're dramatic, but as you hydrate your body, things that may have happened probably won't. And I think as nutrition can get to your cells by using this water to take whatever nutritional products you're already taking so it can get to your cells, I think it will enhance that. That's why I believe my feet are doing better, because I've already taken something, but it improved the results of it. So anyway, that's in a nutshell, that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Del. I'm excited. You know, I asked him the other day, I said, if I would have asked you if I could buy this water pitcher that does this frequency change to my water, would you have told me to wait? He said, yeah, I would have told you to wait. And I said, that's why I didn't ask you. That's why I went ahead and bought it, because my gut told me you need this to heal. And I am so grateful that my husband is supportive of this. And I hope that other husbands out there who have wives, or wives who have husbands that are not feeling good, that you will hear this petition to let your spouse be intuitive about researching things that might help them. We are surrounded by EMFs. We live in polluted, dirty, corroded lead pipe systems. We do not even know what's lurking in our water. And so next week's webinar will be all about what is lurking in your water, so that you will make sure that before you activate your water, you clean it. And you clean it with the best possible cleansing tool that you can get your hands on. So Carol, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take over the screen, and I can do this. I can actually give you the screen, and let me go there. Oh, she's got it.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Karyn did go over a bit of what we were going to talk about today. Hold on, this is getting in, something was getting in the way. And so the part that I'm going to talk about is actually the technology that's behind the picture that's creating all this single file alignment. And so this company that Karyn mentioned, GeoWellness, has a patented technology on this dynamic duo, which is EMRET technology and ERT. And we talked a little bit about this last time, so I'm just going to briefly go through it. So EMRET stands for Molecular Resonance Effect Technology, and we'll go over that in a minute because that's kind of like, how does this happen? And the other technology is the energy resonance technology. As Karyn said, this was discovered by Dr. Smirnov, who is a nuclear engineer in Russia, and the government actually asked him and a team to study the effects of the population in Chernobyl in 1986, and there was a couple 100,000 people that were not getting cancer out of this, from the radiation of Chernobyl, from the nuclear meltdown. And so what he came up with is finding the single file alignment in the water that came from, as Karyn said, the water falling onto the rocks, and by nature's beautiful wisdom came up with this single file alignment. And the other component that goes along with the GeoWellness patented technology is the energy resonance technology, which is the kind of equivalent to the energy field that's similar to the earth and also of our cells inside. So it enhances and supports our biofield, which is our cocoon of protection. And if we have a strong energy field, that translates all the way down to the little subatomic structures that we have in our body. So if the stronger we have a biofield, the more important it is to maintain that and keep it strengthened so we can have a strong body, mind, spirit, and keep ourselves healthy and everything flowing and connecting within the body. And the energy resonance technology is actually infused into the water pitcher itself, which will then translate into the water. So that is fabulous. So here's a picture of the pitcher itself, and you can see right here that this is the polymer that sits on top of the pitcher, and then it gets plugged into some electricity, and people say, well, oh boy, you're having electricity, isn't that a bad thing? But what needs to happen is the electricity comes in, and this LED light excites the technology inside. And so when that happens, the polymer, which is just this piece right here, it's a fancy name for it, emits the noise field oscillations. What does that mean? Frequency. So it emits a frequency that comes down into the water. It does not add anything to the water as far as chemicals. It does not touch the water. It needs to remain above the water at all times. Otherwise, you can actually damage the unit itself. And you know, sometimes people say, well, how do I know that it's working? Well, this little light goes on up here that's red. When it's plugged in and it's working, you just push the little button down and it starts working and goes by itself for 30 minutes, and then it'll automatically turn itself off. So there's really nothing you need to do other than fill the pitcher with filtered water and push the little button on top here. The energy resonance technology imprints the subtle energy frequency into the water because it's in the pitcher itself. And when it's in the pitcher, which this is the energy resonance technology, lasts forever. So this pitcher is, as long as it's intact, is infusing the water that's sitting inside it with this energy that is similar to our biofield and also the cells inside. So that's really quite amazing. People say, well, I don't see it doing anything. Well, we don't see energy radio waves unless you see auras or other things. You might not notice that there is something going on. So again, it goes back to trusting. And how do I know that this is working? As long as the red light goes on, the system is working and the water is getting activated by this noise field oscillations, and then it's going to change the water that's below it in the pitcher to single file alignment. And this is just another picture of how that works. There's there's a pre-programmed chip in there. There's magnets that direct the frequency down, and again, the LED light. So again, I don't know how email works. I don't know how an ATM works. I know I can get my money. Same thing here. I don't really need to know the technology. I need to know that the water gets aligned and that people feel wonderful when they do it. They're having some wonderful testimonies. And again, this is not a medical device. This is a household appliance. It does not cure anything. It is there to support the body. Here we're having clean, pure, filtered water that is now single file aligned. And the machine does not take anything out. It does not add anything as far as minerals. But what it does do is create it in a single file alignment. And here's kind of a picture like this. And this is how water is going inside of our body. It's in little clusters. And what ends up happening is when we're young, we're able to break this down quite efficiently. Karyn had shared a wonderful photo of her grandbaby. I wish you would have included that in the PowerPoint, because it just showed, again, that a hydrated baby, a happy hydrated baby. And so they're able to do that because they have more energy to do that. But as we age, or if you're not well, then that we don't usually have the energy to break it down to single file. And here's a picture of a cell, and what Karyn was talking about are the AQUAPORE, and so these are the channels. But they do require this single file aligned water to get into the cell through this channel. And what that helps us with then are so many benefits, because if the water is able to get in the cell, it can flush out all those toxins that are sitting in there, and again help us to, that goes down to the lower one here, enhances cellular detoxification, as Karyn had mentioned before, improves nutrient absorption and assimilation. If the supplements or other nutrients from our food are taken along with this single file aligned water, then the nutrients are able to get into the cell. What an important concept, taking supplements and other things and actually having it get into the cell where it can actually work. And I think that's where some people are having some pretty profound experiences, because number one, for myself personally, when I do drink the water, I do feel hydrated. It's kind of a weird thing to say and hard to explain, but I feel like my cells get fluffy, that they get filled up, that they are actually feel hydrated inside. I actually also feel cell-to-cell communication, which is up here. I feel that the nervous system is working better. How does that work? Well, one of the things is, as Karyn said, it lowers the viscosity of the water molecule. So it's absorbed actually 300 to 400 times more. So we are getting a little bit more plumped up. So we're going to be a grape instead of a raisin is the analogy that is sometimes used. And I think that's a pretty good visual of our cells being dehydrated, so a little bit shriveled, and then we can plump them up to be a nice plump grape that has a lot of nutrients in and that's able to help us to be healthier. Karyn also mentioned improved skin hydration can reduce wrinkles just by the matter of fact of being hydrated. Faster muscle recovery. So for those of you who are weekend warriors or, you know, hit the gym every day or several times a week, this will actually help you recover more quickly. And I've noticed more strength and stamina, as Karyn was talking about. Less inflammation because we are flushing out the toxins, move that lactic acid out faster after workouts. And one of the things that people ask all the time is, well, you know, is it alkaline? Well, no, it's not. What it really does, and I have a slide coming up, is it actually supports a healthy pH. So if you're too acidic, it'll help it get more towards neutral. And again, if you're too alkaline, because that's not good either, that is damaging to the body as well, it helps it get back again to neutral. So I love what Kedzie says, that you should really be getting your alkalinity from your food, so your greens and things like that. That's where to get your alkalinity, help you stay away, as Karyn was saying, from some animal meats and fats and things like that can make us a little bit more acidic. The whole thing is, let's create a healthy lifestyle. And part of this healthy lifestyle is going to include the electromagnetics protection and also getting water that can actually get in your cell and help you improve your circulation, improve your oxygenation, give you a stronger immunity because it does have some bacteriostatic and bactericidal properties, which I'll show you in just a minute. Here's that slide on acid-base balance, and again you can see this one is regular water. This is the eye water or intelligent water of Geo Wellness, and this is neutral. So you can see that tap water does not really help us in maintaining our pH balance. And again, for acid titration, same kind of thing, that regular water gets us a little bit more acid. So again, another benefit of eye water. And you might be saying, well, is there any research on this? Well, they have done a lot of research. It's continuing to be done. And one of them is tumor reduction in mice. There's, again, reduction in Staph aureus, E. coli. This is a plate of a culture of Staph aureus. This is the control. This was after 30 minutes, and this was after 60 minutes. You can see that it really decreased. And then those of you who love sushi, what they did is soak some raw fish for 15 minutes, and this particular bacteria was eliminated after it was soaked 15 minutes. So another way that you can use eye water is spraying it on your food to help get rid of some of the bacteria that comes. I love what Kedzie told me is spray your fish before you bake it, and it actually does eliminate the fish smell. So that was a wonderful explanation and a way to use the eye water, again, because it kills bacteria. Here's a live blood sample, and that's been a kind of a topic that's been going around in the last month here, are live blood samples. And this rouleau effect is the stacking, this top picture, the stacking of red blood cells, which is unhealthy, can happen from a number of things, inflammation, acid-base, things like that, other co-infections. But here, after 20 minutes after drinking eye water, they have a nice glow around them, they're freely moving, they've broken apart from each other. So again, that's another way to show you that drinking the eye water can improve circulation, it can improve oxygenation because there's more surface here for oxygen, and get things moving in and out and through the body in a healthy way. And then you say, well, you know, sometimes people might be, you know, what is the placebo effect? They're drinking the water, you tell them it's good, and so they have results. And how do I know that that's true? Well, again, here's, you know, mice don't, and bacteria don't necessarily follow instructions or have placebo effects, but here they're using plants. These are radish plants. And so they, within the first 3 days, that there was a 200% increase in the plant growth. And my friend Terry is saying that she used eye water for her bamboo and it grew like 10 inches. So it does have some fabulous effects on plants and pets and other things as well. So when you get started with the activated water, what's important to do for some people is to start slowly. But when you first get your pitcher, what you're going to do is use filtered water. As Karyn said, MultiPure is a wonderful filter that we have available as well. As she said, rated #1 with Consumer Reports. But you can buy some filtered water. Reverse osmosis is not recommended unless you put some minerals back in the water, because otherwise you're kind of stripping your own body of some chemicals that are chemical constituents, the minerals that are important in our body's function. So if you're a person that has not been real well for a while, you might want to start slowly, a half to 1 cup at the first day, and then gradually increase. And so because we're going to be flushing the cells of some, that's another thing that Kedzie says is dirty fish bowls, or, you know, that the cells have been sitting there collecting some of the toxins because we're not getting a lot of water in. So now we are, so now we're going to start cleaning things out. So as we clean things out, they may go into the system. And that's why we sometimes can do things slowly. Everyone's different. Karyn had some phenomenal effects. And just to let you know is that I had a very gradual, very subtle effects, more strength, more endurance, more stamina. I do massage and I noticed that, oh, my muscles aren't aching at the end of the day. And I'm able to do things a little bit, you know, at the end of the day, I still was feeling like I had energy, which I hadn't been before. If you're doing massage, you know, 6 hours straight, that might take a physical toll on you. But I did notice the difference, and actually some people pointed out that my posture was straighter because my muscles were stronger. I didn't feel like I had to hunch and reposition myself, that my muscles were feeling strong enough. So other things to notice is when you're tasting the water is that, to me, it tastes clean, and some people say it might even taste sweeter. The texture of the water to me was kind of silky smooth, and that's one of the things that people kind of notice right away. I actually went to a restaurant last night and it was a lovely little restaurant next to a little man-made lake. And the water was so horrible. It tasted like it was, I don't know, moldy. And nobody else had that experience. But, you know, once you're drinking clean water, you can tell the difference when you're not. And they said the water was filtered, but I told them maybe they need to change the filter. You're going to get a good sense of hydration. As I said, your cells might actually feel fluffier, your energy levels improve, your mood, and even your comfort level, because what some people noticed is because all this is moving through your body, eliminating toxins, you might have some less aches and pains, as I've noticed with myself after doing massage, or people who might have even more chronic discomforts that have noticed some improvement. So again, you can hydrate yourself with this, as they call it, super liquid, because it is 300 to 400 times more hydrating than regular water. And again, it's creating balance in the body and supporting communication on all levels, whether it's through the nervous system, to the cells, through the organs, and more. So single file alignment is really an important way to go to get yourself hydrated, healthy, and happy. And I'll turn that over to Karyn then.
Okay. Well, we know that a lot of you have another call to go to at this time. So we want to thank you so much for being on this call with us tonight. This was recorded. If any of you would like it, you are more than welcome to this link. I will be posting it on the Perfect Solutions for Cellular Pollutions. And if you have questions and you are watching this later, please feel free to contact the person who shared this link with you or who invited you to this call. So thank you again. Again, I just want to thank Carol and Kedzie. I have so enjoyed meeting some of you, like Marge and Steve and Bilby. It's just been so fun to meet you and just to feel this kindred passion and love for this unique and wonderful blessing and gift that's been offered to us in our lives. I mean, you think about the people in this world that do not have clean hydration possibilities, and I just feel like we are so blessed and so really amply honored to have this technology. So thank you for being on the call. Have fun drinking away, and we will see you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about the filter that you use. What kind of water are you putting into your Geo water pitcher, and how you can find some of the best filter water on the planet that will take out that arsenic and take out the carcinogens, the trihalomethanes, even the pharmaceuticals. Think about the people that are flushing things down the toilet that you do not want to have just minor city treatment centers. Also, some very graphic scenes on the PowerPoint that I've created for you about what is allowable in the water treatment. So you're going to want to see some of these filters, because just putting ordinary tap water or even a lot of bottled waters into your GIA activator is not the greatest thing to do. So join us next week for an amazing webinar on how do I clean my water before I activate it. Thank you.
Thank you.